Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Anime Food Squad read-through of Katawa Shoujo. Last time, Hisao continued his adventures around Yamaku Academy, and we met some newcomers to the fray, including the burnt beauty Hanako, Lily, the blindest girl in all the land, and what many people consider best girl, the fastest thing on no legs, Emmy. Ben, it's too early in the recording. Cease that shit immediately.
My.
Anyway, yeah, we met some new girls and we had some new interactions. So now, let's get ready to continue on.
Let's get right into the news.
Let's get right into the news.
Also, Emmy almost killed Hisao.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that part.
Emmy nearly killed Hisao by breaking his heart.
What a first encounter.
He's fucking weak.
Well, the route to the room the two used for tea is fairly simple to retrace, being still fresh in my mind from yesterday. Lily and Hanako quickly go about the business of making lunch. Before I can even open the small bag of food, my small bag of food, Lily's busying herself with her thermos and tea bags as Hanako is setting out both their lunch boxes.
Oh wait, hold on, wrong push to talk. So, is this what you meant by coming here almost every day?
Yes. Hanako and I usually have lunch here. It suits both of us, so we ended up using this room regularly.
After seeing Hanako's reactions to me over the past couple of days, I can understand why that is a boon. That boon, and Lily being able to get some quiet away from her class as well. I take my seat last after Lily's poured the tea for us and sits down. The more time I spend,
looks like she's about to.
She looks like she's.
She looks like she's about to shit herself in fear.
Maybe she's already shitting herself.
The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're a perfect foil to Misha and Shizune. Even without a voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be shitting herself right now.
So how are you faring Yamako, Hisao? You seemed a bit flustered before.
Yeah, I just didn't know what that smell was. Oh, apart from getting lost every now and then, and being crash-tackled outside my classroom by a cyborg, fine, I guess.
You look like a faggot before. Are you really okay?
My god, Gabe. For a brief moment, I considered telling Hanako and Lily about my condition, but then, I hold it back.
I don't have a heart.
What a pussy!
I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they have been pretty friendly.
Yeah, it's nothing. I was just a bit startled.
Judging from the two girls' expressions, I don't think they're but in what I assume is their way of respecting my privacy, they don't press the matter. I guess that's one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask, don't tell. Wait, but that's not the rule. Even if people's conditions are obvious like Hanako's, there's still bound to be a story involved.
Yes, that's why this game has been made.
Everyone has things that they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that.
So, how long have you been in this school? You both seem to know your way around pretty well. You know, like you've been here a long time.
Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitories a year ago. Hanako joined at the start of high school as well, and moved to the dormitories when she did, if memory serves me right.
That is right, since the fucking high school.
We need...
So you've known each other since then?
Since I've moved, yes. Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
Living next to someone is probably reason enough to befriend them, though I'm guessing that Lily's blindness played a part in it as well.
Jesus, what's
She
that
can't-
supposed to mean?
Well, Lily can't see that.
Fucking
she's a friend.
savage.
She can't
What
see
a
that she's friends with
fucking
Lily.
asshole!
I can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has to deliberately avoid looking at her scars.
This guy.
What a savage! Holy
He's
shit!
a fucking pussy, savage faggot.
If it was any more savage, it's snapping a Slim Jim. Oh yeah!
Oh my fucking god!
If he could be more edgy, on this day I could see clearly because everything has come to light.
With the immediate conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch.
Game.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
It isn't long before the bells are signaling the end of the break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunches as efficiently as they set them out.
I guess I better be off. Are you going to go with Hisao, Hanako? Try any funny business.
Hanako looks up at me, and for a second I can see that she's considering skipping class, maybe just to avoid walking to the classroom with me.
I mean, I would too.
Yes?
I don't know what to think of it. Hanako really is delicate to the point of breaking if looked at in the wrong way, like a nice crispy piece of bacon. It makes me a bit nervous, too, but I push the feeling aside, trying to be as natural as I can.
We should hurry then. Class has already started by the sound of it, you delinquent.
Lily gives a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her cane, Hanako and I filing out before her.
They just left the blind girl to figure out her own way. Like,
She knows where she is.
yeah, but imagine just they like closed the door and she's trapped in there just screaming my for the rest of the time.
That's a really
Ow, I hit the
asshole
door.
move.
Ow, I hit the door!
Ow.
We walk quickly down the empty halls to our respective classes.
My, when did this get?
As we reach the door to Lily's Dale Rusty classroom, she turns towards me.
Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today.
How did you get out of the room? I closed the door. I mean, my pleasure, Lily.
And with that, we part ways, Lily entering her classroom and leaving Hanako and me to make off to our own.
To make out on our own.
Yeah, she's still looking like she wants to run away.
So, do you really want to go back to class now?
Yes?
What? Did she become Shizude for a moment there?
Okay then.
I feel like I should say something more to her, but it's hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough.
Oh, now he wants it to be appropriate. Okay.
And Lily was right. The more time we spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. I open the rear door to the class and walk in. The teacher looks up at me and opens his mouth to say something. However, as Hanako follows me in and closes the door, he simply nods to us and continues his lecture. This is the third time that Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on here.
Teacher.
We make our way to our seats, and I notice that Misha and Shizune are both missing as well. I wonder if that's some form of informal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique students of this school.
Can I say, Moto likes some crispy.
Trying to make as little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbooks from my bag and start catching up.
I can imagine him making this little disturbance. I kind of just walking past desks and knocking them over.
The class goes on quietly. The teacher seems like an okay person despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius.
Well, the deficiency has to make out somewhere else.
Oh my god. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there's still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd. At the hospital, I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here, filling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with the teacher. Oh my. Muto's examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow.
What is it, Nakai?
I jump at him addressing me. I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's nobody else around.
Nothing. Just wondering why you don't have a route. Oh, I'm thinking about what I do after school.
The teacher slowly puts the cap on the pen he's holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking against the desk twice. What the fuck's up with everyone doing this? Literally everyone.
Every fucking person.
Well done. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine.
You have no plans?
No.
Seriously?
No shit, that's why I'm a dickhead. I accidentally clicked. I considered joining a club, but don't know what kind of club would interest me.
Go observe a meeting at someone else's club. Might pique your interest. You know, besides sitting here and staring at me.
I guess, but I mean, you're pretty sexy, Moto.
But I don't know how to continue from there. Muto looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. Onward!
I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other retard. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the bacon, the blindness, the deafness, the drills. It's like... Hold on. It's like...
The holy fuck, she stepped on a landmine!
It's like, it feels that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, but it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. I just want a manly picnic.
The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive.
These things are only an issue if you make them one, he's child. You can talk normally with someone, even if they are blinded or something.
Or something.
Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance.
He says the same thing as Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness when the only way to communicate with her is through Misha?
Wait,
or
guys.
Hanako? It's not like you can ignore the bacon.
I hate how beta this kid is. But
Seriously, the fucking nerd.
He's not a nerd, he's a mentally impaired fucking idiot.
I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Misha crashes in, hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves.
Straight and enthusiastic greeting, Sieg Heil?
Sieg Heil!
She starts toward the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha in general, slumps in his chair.
Mikado?
Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong, but has no idea what.
Yes?
We've talked about volume control before.
Yes!
But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes.
Yes! Yes!
I'll just leave a Tana to scream the next line.
Oh my god. So, what is it?
We need help! We're running out of supplies for the festival stands!
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
fuck hilarious.
Yes.
She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around.
Wait, hang on.
Big slip?
What?
Does that mean she's fired?
Dude, Tava's going above and beyond for this role.
My god.
So, get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that?
Plywood! Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little. But that time we just took it all and went with that. And I'm not going to Lowe's because fuck Lowe's! Now there's like none left there. So do you know where there is some?
Home Depot, you fucking tard.
I don't understand. How would I know? Try a hardwood store, maybe.
The president thought that a teacher would know if there was plywood. Was she fucking lying to me?
Muto looks like he's in great pain, frowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all, because she's dense as a fucking block of lead. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible, like looking at a man being tortured by drilling. Drills! His skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time.
Wait. I get the feeling that Misha's hair is only like that because of that fucking line.
I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in school, let alone where it would be if there was any.
Aww. What should I do?
Why you went quiet, Misha?
Perhaps try to find Mr. Maya?
No, Mia.
That one. Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya. I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. He'd have to pry them from his cold, dead hands, but that's a different matter.
Ah! I'd love to kill him, but I don't have time. We're so busy.
She holds her head with both of her hands, looking as despairing as it's possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair.
Jesus Christ.
I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do and we're falling behind the
So
schedule.
much to do, so much to see.
So much to do, so much to see, so much to do, so much to see, so much to do, so... Muto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't.
Wonder if I could get you some temporary help.
Fuck you, nuts.
Maybe like Mr. Nakai.
Oh, wow,
He switches
look at
to-
that, I'm having a heart attack.
He switches to staring at me focusedly with a hard expression, as if trying to say, go make some friends. Go do the thing.
Ellipsis. What's up, Doc? I guess I could give you a hand.
You can? Thanks, E-chan. You are really nice.
She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger saying, "Yup," and looking very puzzled.
Come to think of it, what's E-chan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun, you geek.
We just had a little chat.
The fuck are
Oh
you doing?
no! It's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, He-chan? Did you burn down the school?
No. I'm not Hinaka.
Is He-chan in trouble, teacher?
No, he's not, you dense little shit.
Muto sighs deeply, and I feel that I have to help Misha get her off the teacher's back.
So, what did you need?
Here's a list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. I'll check Menards.
She
You have to
offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit.
I said I'd help you, but this has no championship implications for Joey Logano on whether I'm going to join the student council or not.
Major
Aw.
Chase plywood implications.
Still, thanks, He-chan. Try to be quick. We're in a stall building street now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry.
She bounces out of the classroom,
Boing,
leaving me in the
boing,
Boing, boing, boing.
I can just imagine Misha hysterically like flailing out of the classroom.
I could just imagine her like, I meant like jumping, bouncing once, and just flying off into space.
No, it's like jumping out of the window like fucking Mojo Jojo in that Powerpuff Girls
But
video.
looks like Misha's blasting off again.
She bounces out of the classroom and into the distance, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement.
Okay, just sexual things aside. Well, there you have it, okay. You have something to do now. Now get the fuck away from me.
Please don't sound so smug. Fucking asshole. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's. I heave a sigh.
You're fucking dead, Nakai. I'll be going then.
Waving the long list limply at the teacher, like my dick, I exit to the hallway. The classrooms closest to ours are designated belonging to class 3-2 on the right side and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, are rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in.
Oh shit,
wait a minute.
We about to meet her?
It's time for West Girl!
Oh shit, what up?
It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place?
Wait, I just realized this guy's gonna hate me for saying that. Sorry, man.
You're a good guy in my sky.
Desks and chairs are all around the room, a thin layer of dust settled on them. There are some easels in the corner, so at least this looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room.
Anybody?
Something catches my eye, and I stop mid-sentence.
Oh!
Sitting on a desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform with a fork between her toes, a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands. She ain't throwing no hands. But her presence here is what takes me back even more.
Wait, hold the phone. How did she tie the sleeves?
Emmy does it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So I guess in that case it would be catching her feet.
You're gonna be catching these feet, boy.
I guess. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in a corner very still, but I somehow took her as a part of the furnishing or a statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole.
Oh no shit.
No,
The girl seems to
fucking
be-
blind.
The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I was staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically.
I got this shit, fam.
No, hang on.
Who wants to go? Who wants to do it? Let's do
Me!
it. Alright, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, Lecklighter doesn't have many lines.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, get it from the light.
Lecklighter
Yeah,
wants to.
because all I have is the nurse and well, I did do
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
is like Lighter. Rin is like Lighter.
all right.
Lol.
Hello.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Actually perfect.
Perfect.
The girl stuffs the forkful in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward.
Hello? I was told to pick up some supplies from here. Could you help me? For some festival stores, I think. I didn't think there would be someone in here.
There isn't. That's why I came here too.
Holy shit, it's amazing.
She picks up another forkful.
Doesn't that mean you're here then?
She raises her eyebrows as if she was suspecting my observation was false.
You're pretty observant. I guess it does. But who are you?
This
Who
girl's pretty
are
straightforward, isn't she?
I'm Nakai. Isa Nakai. I just transferred in on Monday.
I'm Rin. Tezuka Rin. Rin Tezuka, and yeah, wait, what? I won't shake hands with you. But at least we know who we are now.
Okay, I kind of like Rin. She's funny.
That's very nice.
Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not.
I think I like Rin on this playthrough, actually.
Dude, she's so snarky. It's great.
It kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all.
Oh, say the fucking dude that was being a dick to the disabled
Yeah,
children.
seriously. Dude who's joking about Hanoka's bacon face or Hanako, whoever we're talking about.
No, cause
Yep, this is love right now. That's it. I'm hijacking this playthrough.
While I'm trying to figure what's appropriate, this girl is, what? She seems to have lost interest in me and is now gazing yearningly back at her food.
I think he's wondering whether the girl is appropriate.
Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back.
Go right ahead, but lunch? School's already over for the day.
What word would you use then? There is no word for a meal that you eat after lunch, but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, and I don't really know what I should say.
She's eating her 3 o'clocksies.
Eating your tendies. I don't think you were supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with.
Well, he sounds a fucking normie.
Bitch,
Yeah,
I do what I
seriously.
want, but I'm hungry. If I'm hungry now, and my delicious box lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
It also gives you goddamn diarrhea.
It smells like
Shut up,
shit.
Gabe. No one cares.
Can I?
Who and Lou?
Can I just make a point? I don't know how I didn't like Rin. I find
Yeah.
her hilarious.
She's great. Dude, she's so snarky.
And you called her worst girl. You should feel ashamed of
Shame on
yourself.
you.
I do.
Shame.
With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes and with at least as much impoliteness, she points it straight at me.
So, Nakai, what brings you to this place?
Like I said, I was told to look for these things.
No, the school, dumbass. From outside, you look fine. What's your problem inside?
I come to a full stop, opening my mouth but not getting a word out.
I get so lonely when she's sorry. I broke out to Genesis again.
I can guess. I'm good at guessing. Better than most people.
Rin cuts me off before I can answer her question, or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition. Or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up.
No, it's because
I-
you're a pussy.
It is because he's a pussy. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is a part of the social code here, as the teacher said. However, Rin does not follow the social code. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition is with an overly contemplative look on her face. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there.
It said overtly, not overly.
Close enough. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side.
I don't think it's anything in your head, but something in your guts would be boringly ordinary. Like this lunch of mine. It looks delicious. What the fuck?
What is that line?
The problem must be in your pants!
The fucking dick!
She's saying he got a small dick.
This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement, and the sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I think I might have reeled back even physically as Rin's eyes widen in revelation and astonishment.
God damn it! I can't even.
Oh my.
Oh my fucking god.
Rin is great.
Dude, Rin might be best girl.
So I was right. There is something wrong with your tacos. Oh god damn! I can't even say it with a straight face now.
Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply something, I spit out the first thing that I can think of.
Nothing like that. I have a heart problem. Arrhythmia.
No, it's just cold.
I said it. More like blurted it out, but I said it. The girl in front of me purses her lips together and glowers at me, looking very disappointed.
How boring. Trouble with this was God fucking damn it. God
Trouble
damn it.
downstairs.
Rin is best girl.
I
Straight up,
I can't
Rin is
even give a
best
fucking
girl.
face now with Red. God damn it. How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been, but God, okay, you know what? Just, yeah.
What's with this reaction?
Hold on. Hisao hit the wrong push to talk button and skipped a bunch of lines.
Fuck.
I'm sorry to let you down.
I forgive you. Just, I collect people when a person with, you know, that kind of problem would have been really great.
Collect people?
People with different problems.
Huh. So you just, like, go around asking people what's wrong with them?
Pretty much.
I see.
With little left to say, Rin resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away. But I kept thinking about what she said, or what was said. It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition. All the other people have either known about it already, or heard about it from someone else. Or didn't need to know about it, like every other student here so far. Should I have told it as a natural part of introductions? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisao. I have a very serious heart condition. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on?
Yes.
As if our disabilities would define us. What it is? Okay, what the fuck? This guy does like a complete 180 in
yeah,
like 2 days.
This guy goes from being just a rude ass cunt to suddenly being this social justice warrior. Fuck you, Hisao. You are the worst.
Hisao does a complete 360 and goes out the door, back the way.
It falls on the floor like a dinosaur.
Oh my god.
Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. As I walked to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye.
You
Her
know
hair
what else is on the list? Hisao, you just made the list.
That's some really fucking creepy motherfucking shit.
Her hair is a burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. Can't throw them hands. The boy's uniform and lack of arms make her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty, but a savage.
Jesus.
Except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs even when she eats. The distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb all of it within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how this sight would discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, at
And
least.
he just did another 180 as the savage again.
I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now,
And he
isn't
just
it?
did another 180.
What, is he part of the fucking Westboro Baptist Church now? God hates
Yes,
40 years?
he probably is.
I keep searching the cabins and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the sounds grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl.
Jesus
So,
Christ, he
do
just
you
doesn't
always
fucking
eat
stop.
alone and this late, or do you get the occasional visitor?
Visitors. Maybe you're my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes eat with a certain person on the roof, if she's not horsing around. She falls off the roof!
Horsing around featuring
Jack
Bojack.
Horseman.
She likes to do sports. And anal with lemons.
Oh.
Thanks, Joe.
No problem.
Fucking tagging me in a thing and causing my game to minimize.
What a derelict.
And that's all I can think of to say. What a derelict. Both of us fall silent again as Rin forks the last bits of our meal into her mouth. I look down at my haul and double check it with Misha's list. It seems like I have everything except plywood.
So I think I have all of the things now.
That's very nice for you. Don't feel obliged to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway.
Dude, Rin is my spirit animal.
You need to do whatever you are going to do with that stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping.
I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious.
Even if I did, I think I'd have to be going. I said so low. Sorry, I did it again. I'll catch you when you're around. Tezuka.
You can call me Rin. Feel the relationship is at that point good enough to warrant this much. Oh boy, it's getting this relationship's growing quickly, ain't it?
Okay, I'll put it on Facebook then.
It's escalated quickly.
I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in.
How does she pull you? Just extend her legs out? Fine. Then I'm Hiso.
Then you are.
That's some deep shit. Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling you get when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times, and I can't figure out why a pause like this just popped between us out of nowhere.
See you later, Hiso.
There's something like a tiny smile in her face. Maybe. I quietly back out of the room. As I shut the door in front of my face, I whisper to myself,
What a fucking retard.
From inside, I hear a muffled sing-song voice.
I heard that.
What did she hear?
I jump at the sudden appearance of Misha, who I had not heard approaching despite the completely empty hallway. It's like she bounced into existence.
You saw it, Snake.
Somehow she had gotten to jumping distance. Oh, speaking of the devil, jumping into existence, without making it sound creepy, briefly reminds me of Kenji's nutty theory about a global feminist conspiracy, but I pushed that thought aside.
She returned from her trip when she bounced off into the moon.
Yes.
Wait. Does that mean Kenji believes in the chemicals?
They're the freaking frogs, guy!
Yo, it's Misha's Stan Shizune. JoJo reference.
Shizune, standing slightly behind Misha, looks aloof as she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha's visibly excited.
No, wait. More importantly, who's in there? There's no club meetings today.
She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway.
What are you doing here?
You took so fucking long that we had to come check what's wrong. That's no good, He-chan.
She wags her finger at me scoldingly.
Waggle, waggle, waggle. I found plywood, but everything else is still missing because you're late.
Oh, sorry. I got the things. Yeah, I was just going to bring them.
I think you were up to some mischief, He-chan. Who was in there with you, I wonder?
Misha signs something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her own ear a couple of times. Shizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left. I can only imagine the shock she is experiencing. With Shizune's diligence and attitude, the insolence of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear. And indeed, she stares at Rin, frozen in place apart from the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders, from suppressed rage, I'm sure. Can they go fucking She-Hulk?
Retard scream.
Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning the sign furiously at Misha. Maybe she did blow up, but I can't understand it. Because I can't understand deaf speak. She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin is sleeping on one of the tables. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness.
Hello.
But the dick in her asshole.
Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door, and it takes a few eye blinks to realize she might have trouble opening it. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with a half-interested, half-sleepy face.
Hello.
Miss Tezuka, what do you think you're doing? You are absolutely not permitted to use school property for such, disgraceful activity.
It sure is suddenly very crowded here. I didn't know I was this popular.
It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune/Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulder, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs.
I'm not finished with you yet! Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore. Anyway, how's your project going? Will it be done for the festival?
Rin looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressure Shizune's cold stare is putting on her.
I keep wondering about that myself, too.
And?
Well, thinking about it harder.
As Misha signs a reply to Shizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown.
Miss, please try to take this seriously. It'll be the disaster if the wall looks like somebody threw up their lunch onto it.
Rin nods assertively.
Well, think more seriously.
Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune doesn't, not even after translation. She just shakes her head, takes the materials from me, and takes off with Misha in tow. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duo.
How rude. It's true, though. I must finish my project before the weekend. There will be dire consequences if I don't. It's the end of the world as we know it.
Like REM.
Like weekends usually are, but more dire. Much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to unforeseen future.
I'm about to ask what project she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the art classroom.
Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand? This paint can doesn't fit into my bag as I need it.
I don't need it.
She kicks lightly at a huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table she was sitting and sleeping
I
on.
don't need it.
It lets out a dull clang. Being the gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up.
God, what a beta.
Heavy.
Yeah, sure. Where do you need me to take?
Away.
And with that, she takes off to the hallway, me and the paint can following since there's little choice for either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now with Shizune and Misha gone, after they phased into fem space. So we two leave towards the stairwell at the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, Make up your mind, dude. I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it
What?
keeps my arms from tiring too fast. What a pussy. Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching, or maybe I'm walking weird because of the extra weight.
No, maybe it's because you're fat.
It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, and I can't figure out which. 2 flights of stairs below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin.
Oh boy, another line for me. Ah, Mr. Nakai, what a happy coincidence. Tezuka too, of course.
He nods courteously to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me he had some business with.
There's something I forgot to mention on Monday.
I nod and wait impassively because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this interruption either.
It's about your medications. Since you haven't been that long on your current medications, there might be some expected side effects, which might require adjusting dosages or even changing to another kind of medication. So we would do a few tests regularly, but I'd want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off, if you get what I mean. Nausea, headache, anything, and come see me if something happens.
Alright.
So how are you? Everything fine?
I give up and drop the can to the floor before answering him. Apparently, this takes longer than my biceps can handle. I'm about to say something generic as an answer, but then I realize how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too, teachers and students here, my parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school. Except this school. This is a small school, and both the student base and the faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least that's the feeling I'm getting. And this is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyway.
So hold on, after all that. Ellipsis.
That's great. Also, one more thing. My sources tell me that you've been at neither the school track nor the pool. So I'd like to know if you have taken up exercising as I asked.
Of course I haven't, but his way of inquiring gives me the feeling that I should have been running my ass off on the track since the very first day.
You have people spying.
Not as such. Just happen to know a few people. But that's not the issue here, so don't try to slip out of it.
Well, I was actually just doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise.
I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing down on my arms painfully. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, then comes back like it was never gone.
Tezuka, would you give us a second?
The nurse grabs me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and drags me aside.
When I told you about exercise, I wasn't joking. Now I understand that you are in your first week and all. Please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason I'm coming down this hard on you is that habits are not easy to form. The more you slip and postpone, the harder it will be. It's the same with everything, like dieting. Can you promise to be more serious about this from now on?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe.
Wait.
I don't know. Oh, it's tough.
Maybe.
It seems we've reached an impasse.
All right, so let's tally votes one more time. So, yes from Ben.
Yes,
Yes
from
from me.
Blacklighter. Yes from Gabe. Maybe
And
from my... Huh?
Maybe from you and Joe, so that leaves me. But if I vote maybe, it's a tie.
Then we'll get the bot to decide.
You know what?
Fair enough.
You know what? I'll choose maybe. Let's get the bot to decide.
It's
Yes.
a yes.
Boy.
Yay!
All right.
Okay.
I'm choosing yes.
Yeah, I promise. Definitely.
He studies me for a moment and then shrugs, smiling again.
Okay, that's more like it. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy. Who probably has no qualms offering consultation if you want to jog a bit. He'll probably have you stick it up her ass or something. I don't know.
Lemony consultation.
See you around.
He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and I walk to Rin, who has been waiting, idly leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale light fixtures in the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off them.
Are you getting medications for your heart thingy?
Were you listening?
It comes out more accusatory than I intended, accidentally lashing out on her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. It's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about confidentiality, too. Talking about that kind of thing in public. Just funny because he keeps, like, everything about Emmy confidential. But it's not Rin's fault, is it? I look up at her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty, but Rin is staring past my shoulder quizzically, her head tilted like a bird's. Chirp, chirp, motherfucker. Sigh. I don't know why this is so hard for me. Feels like there's some inexplicable lock that prevents me from being more upfront about this.
Yeah. For my heart.
Would they make you better?
No, not really. They just make me a little less worse.
Rin keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further, nor displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I think I'm still not quite used to all this. At the hospital it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave the main building, and Rin leads us onward towards the dorm. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building. The dorm is a slightly elevated ground with a wall and a few trees that everyone has to circle around every time they come or go. It's probably the only inconvenient design at this school. The entire wall, made up of the same kind of bricks as the building itself, has been covered with some sort of painting.
University.
Yes. Most of it is still mere sketches, quick lines drawn with black and white against gray plastering that covers almost the entire length of the wall. But some places look a bit more finished. There are human faces and legs and hands, and I can't say what the painting as a whole might portray. Stacks of what seem to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground beside.
See, the left side is hardly off the ground yet. It's because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was Sunday morning. I have to work on it, but the guys from art class are helping with the negative spaces and base surfaces, whatever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people with hands. The reach is better and it's faster too.
She goes on a tangent of a tangent, waving a little with her arm, or whatever of it there actually is.
What an asshole!
Jesus Christ, Hiso.
To demonstrate, even though I got the point already. The white cotton of her sleeve flaps around, and it makes me think it could look sadder than it does.
Jesus Christ.
But it makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student base's special property tests in the past few days. Oh man. This girl doesn't notice my dreary feelings, of course, or the fact that she lost me a while ago already, and just keeps on blabbering.
What a rude asshole!
So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there is something I need to figure out, and then figure that out before it's too late and all hope is lost.
Why would the hope be lost?
Because paint has to be painted and then has to dry and then has to be painted over another kind of paint. It takes time.
She finally stops, apparently thinking she made some kind of statement that makes sense.
It's like talking to Gabe.
I think it's
yeah,
best
my
to
nigga.
start from the top.
So, this is your project? You did this?
Yes, yes,
All of it?
yes.
Nice, but
I stumble with my words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into the minefield where Emmy was born.
I was thinking the same thing. Wait, I think that's cue, like Clyde.
Oh, I thought I was gonna finish the rest. Never mind.
No.
It's okay. You can say it. I probably won't get mad.
I blush really hard. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say, if any. It feels like I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. This is really awkward. Only because you're making it awkward.
Don't you want to ask?
How do you paint without hands?
See, I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet.
I almost guessed that already, but isn't it hard to do?
You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is. But maybe I'm used to it by now.
I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she was using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us has anything more to add to the subject.
The afternoon light looks pretty well. I was afraid it wouldn't look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat?
Yeah, well, paintings tend to be flat.
Not like that flat, flat. Like some people are. No substance, no meat, where there should be some. Wait, shit, I didn't catch that part.
You
I
can
know.
scroll back.
I think it just.
I know a few girls who.
Okay, I get it, but I couldn't really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name many artists or artistic terms, so I don't really have anything to say.
Rin shrugs her shoulders at that, saying, "Suit yourself," without saying, and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there.
I didn't think I'd get any actual work done I didn't think I'd get any
Jesus
actual
Christ,
work
okay.
done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it's too dark. I want to get a halogen, whatever. Halogen lamp, like the ones they have at the sports track, but there aren't any.
Rin sure was quick to recruit my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed.
Why not? I'm not really sure I can be of any help.
Every pair of hands.
And feet.
This guy.
Oh my-
It's just mixing some paints. You can do that, probably. Do you have motor control problems? Like, those people who have some cerebral palsy, maybe?
Not that I know of.
I get it. Her thing has nothing to do with that.
She gives me a sly look for no reason.
No, it doesn't.
Let's do it then.
Right here, right now.
So she sits on an empty wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between the toes of her bare right foot. I open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paints flow lazily from the can to the bowl, like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new monotone hue.
Wait.
Monotone hui.
Gabe, do it.
Rin sets to work, every now and then asking me for a hand with something or the other.
Oh my god, stop with the hands.
Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. She wants precision down to the last millimeter before she's satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best.
I'd have a splash of green.
I crouch down to pick up the can of bright green.
The other green. This green.
I carefully pour some of the other green painting into the... I carefully pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl.
No, that's almost a splash. More white. Is green a good color to add? Or it's not a creative color.
You're the artist here.
A hint of smile appears in the corners of her mouth.
Do you lack an opinion?
No, it's just that I have no idea.
It's okay. Because I just got an idea. Add more white.
With this exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter.
Slightly less bold.
White is right.
That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of life in your dream but can't remember it. Maybe it's yellow.
Maybe she found
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like the change of seasons or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Seeing a painting being born on the plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouching down on the paving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Her entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently works the details, adding layers of paint on top of other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixes, neither of us says a word for the longest time. And even those short discussions soon evolve into a shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues.